Hello and welcome to Youth Education Services. Today I'm joined by Lisa Nomoa. Lisa Nomoa is from Northern Peninsula Area, from Bamaga in Cape York, and we've done a little bit of an intro previously with what it was like as a teenager to grow up in Bamaga. Lisa's history, her being gifted as a child to her aka, her grandmother. And now we would like to share with you, Lisa has little baby Javak, who is just the cutest little thing you've ever seen in your life. Javak is nearly 2 years of age, and with all this parenting stuff we've been talking about, I would like Lisa to explain our cultural similarities and our cultural differences. So the first one, Lisa, how long did you actually breastfeed for?
I breastfed my son for 12 months.
For 12 months, and then you put him onto formula?
Yes.
Now tell us, from formula, would you normally put him on cow's milk?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, and if we talk about some other things, so I noticed when you originally came and stayed with me, Javak has 2 baths a day?
Yes.
Why do you do that?
Because he's a very active boy and he sweats a lot, and when he'll be ready to go to have a bed at night, he'll be all sticky.
Yeah.
That's why I give him the second bath.
And it also relaxed him?
Yes.
And it was a time I noticed that you two really bonded.
Yes.
Would this be normal in most Islander families, Aboriginal families in the Cape? Would they do 2 or would they do 1? Is that just something you like to do?
Well, everybody does bath their babies twice a day.
Because of the heat, you think? And
yes, because of the heat and the sweatiness, and they play in dirt and...
just to keep them clean and
yes,
to get rid of some of the germs maybe too.
Yes.
Okay, so I've had lovely baby Javak around me now for a couple of days, and the one thing that I notice that just outshines everything else is how happy he is. He has a couple of cranky moments, but he is just absolutely delightful. If you ask him to put stuff away, he picks it up and he puts it away. Lisa, he has so much respect.
Yes.
So respect is something you definitely teach him? Yes. And has that come from you or you and Rabbi, his father? Do both of you teach the respect?
Yes.
So if Javak is being naughty, you don't belt him, do you?
No, I just smack him by the hand and growl him.
Okay, so when you growl him, that is when you turn around and you get cranky at him.
Yes, I change my voice and my attitude.
Okay, so I notice your voice gets deeper.
Yes.
It gets stern, and he definitely knows the difference between cranky mummy and normal happy mummy.
Yes.
And I also notice he gets lots and lots of cuddles.
Yes.
Now, I also notice that his father never ever raises his voice at him. Never.
Yes.
He also talks very, very softly to him.
Yes.
So, whose job is it in Islander, in Aboriginal, Indigenous communities in Cape York to discipline?
Both.
Both?
Mother and father.
Mother and father?
Yes.
Now, you and I were quite astounded yesterday when we were in a car park. We were walking past a child that was in its mother's arms, and it was screaming. It was having a full-on tanty, wasn't it?
Yes.
And the child then turned round and yelled at the mother's face and then slapped her face.
Yes, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, we were both horrified. And you said,
I'll never let my son do that to me.
Yeah. And what would you do in that instance? He wouldn't do it to begin with, would he?
Yeah, he wouldn't do it.
He would be too frightened to do it.
Yes.
But he would never show that much disrespect to his mum.
Yes.
So just so that you're aware, Javak is a very normal boy. He does do tanties, doesn't he?
Yes.
And when Javak does a tanty, how do you cope with that?
Well, he asks nicely what he wants and I'll give him, but if he comes and just
Screams
for it, I won't give him and he has to cry for it. And if he cries, I'll just ignore him and walk away. Then he'll stop and realize that he has to ask nicely.
So you do not weaken.
No.
You don't give in. No. So until you see the behaviour and get the behaviour that you want, you will not give him what he wants.
Yes, and he can have what he wants all the time.
He can't have what he wants all the time. He must learn that he has what his mother or his father want to give him.
Yes.
Okay, and they're for a reason. The other thing about little baby Javak, which is just incredible, I have a little cat and his name is Mal, and he is so gentle with Mal. He does not want to hurt him. He does not want to do anything with him. He just wants to be his friend. And he goes down very quietly and he says, "Come, Mal, come, Mal." And he just wants to pat him. He wants to ride his Thomas the Tank Engine right beside him, but Mal doesn't really appreciate the noise that Thomas makes. But he is just so very gentle, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so we've just hit on a little bit about respect. So Javak must learn respect in your culture.
Yes.
And he must learn to do what he's told when he's told.
Yes.
So there are some differences when we talk about boundaries, routine and structures. So we talked about he has a bath twice a day.
Yes.
So that's part of his routine.
Yes.
Eating. Eating is very different.
Yes.
He does not sit in a high chair, does he?
No.
He sits on you or beside you, and he even walks around. But he eats from your plate.
Yes.
And you feed him.
Yes.
Do you ever cook him a different meal?
No.
He eats what you eat.
Yes.
Does he eat any hot food with chili?
No.
So you have made your meals less hot?
Yes, or we just put the hot sauce.
The chili to the side?
Yes.
Okay. But so the other night we have had carbonara with some mushrooms in it. He goes berserk for mushrooms. I've never seen a kid like mushrooms as much as Java likes mushrooms. But he literally does try everything, doesn't he?
Yes.
He just literally stands beside Lisa and Nana food.
Yes.
And he just opens his mouth and Lisa puts it straight in and he eats. There's no fuss with dinner, is there?
Yes.
He just eats what he has. He just knows that if he doesn't eat when you're eating,
yes,
he goes hungry.
Yes.
You know? Oh, it's kind of like the mother who puts the food in the fridge and they have to have it cold the next day for breakfast. Hey,
Yes.
funny that. Okay, so there's no special meals, no nothing.
Yes.
Cool. Now the other thing that I've shook my head at a couple of times is when Javak is tired, he takes himself off to bed.
Yes.
So there's no, he must have a sleep time at this time. No, but he goes to bed and he pretty well sleeps through the night, doesn't he?
Yes.
Every now and then he might wake up, but he goes back to sleep.
Yes.
Does he sleep with you in the same bed at home?
Yes.
But here he's sleeping beside the bed on some doonas. We made him a makeshift bed.
Yes.
And he's happy there?
Yeah, he just gets up in the middle of the night to check if I'm still there.
Okay, so he needs to make sure that you're close?
Yes.
Okay, so with his bedtime routine, he does have about 2 sleeps a day, I've noticed.
Yes.
Or naps, 2 naps a day. But then we have been 2 nights in a row sitting watching TV, and he will just decide that it's time for bed. He doesn't say good night, but he has his bottle which has just had some water in it, and he just takes himself off to bed and he's gone. And he knows where his bed is, there's no fight, there's no argument, and he's asleep, literally 60 seconds later. It's the most incredible thing to do. So Lisa, discipline. So how do you, I know you discipline him by growling, how do you set him up for other things, new things that he's learning to do? So He's learning to be toilet trained very, very soon. He's been in childcare.
Yes.
How does he learn? Is there much change in discipline from childcare from when he's with you?
I'm not sure, but he knows when if somebody says that no, that's wrong, he'll stop. He knows the word no means stop.
Yes. Okay. So, but discipline is done by both of you.
Yes.
And it's consistent.
Yes.
So, is he allowed things like soft drinks?
No.
Is he allowed things like junk food?
Maybe
a little bit?
once a time.
So again, he might have a little bit from you, but you won't allow him soft drinks. He brushes his teeth.
Yes.
The other thing that I thought was fantastic the other day, without a blink, I said, Javak, please pick up your toys for Akasasi. And he just went. No argument, no nothing. Have you taught him that?
Yes.
So he knows that at the end of his play, he
Yes.
picks up his toys and he puts them away.
Yes.
And in the beginning, was that hard to teach him?
No.
So how did you reward him? How did you create this positive behaviour for him?
If he does something that I ask him to and he does it, then I give him a big cuddle and a big smush and let him touch my breast, which he likes a lot.
Okay, so we need to explain that. So when Javak needs comforting, he puts his hand
Yes.
just in the crease.
Yeah, just there.
To feel mum.
Yes.
It's a little weird to watch, and he sometimes tries to do it to his dad,
Yeah.
and his dad says, "No, I'm not mum," and moves his hand out. But that is like a comfort thing for him
Because he was breastfeeding for quite a while.
for the 12 months. So he associates that feeling of just rubbing there as
Yes.
being comfort, and then that's a reward. That's a bit of a treat for him.
Yes.
Okay. Lisa, thank you so much for sharing with us some of your cultural routine structures and boundaries, and it's really interesting to see the similarities and the differences, but also that you're a really strong mother and you don't back down, and that you enforce and you reward with lots of positive praise and positive reinforcement with cuddles and touching. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Hope you've enjoyed this session. Hope to see you again soon. Bye.